damn Canadians. And guess what? Gurdeep, you're here. Thank you for being our guest. It is an absolute honor to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Scott, for inviting me in your wonderful show, Crazy Damn Canadians. I think it's a great name.
And you know what, my friend? You fit the bill because you have been taking this nation by storm with your incredible energy and just your positive persona. And it's exactly what I feel social media needs right now. So let's back up a little bit and maybe just introduce yourself and let our listeners know where you are.
Right now, I'm in the Yukon, very close to Whitehorse. I live in wilderness in a cabin. It's very close to Lake Labarge. I know that majority of Canadians, they know about Lake Labarge because it's very famous through Robert Service poetry. Uh, I live close to that lake in wilderness, and it's fantastic here.
And you're famous, Gurdeep, for a couple of reasons. One, you have exceptional dance skills. I'm talking unreal dance skills. And with the Punjabi Bhangra, it's something that you've introduced to a lot of people, not just in the Yukon, but throughout the nation. So have you always just been a naturally talented dancer?
Uh, Thank you very much. Because Bhangra is our folk dance of Punjabi or Sikh people from Punjab. So I'm always be a dancer. I know it since my childhood because everybody just dances this. Um, but in the Yukon, I think I started dancing even a lot more. Maybe it's the cold. I needed to keep myself warm. And also, I thought that it's also great to spread that warmth across nation, like warmth of smiles, warmth of happiness, joy, and positivity. Yeah, I've been doing like almost all my life.
And that's very exciting for me to hear because you're doing exact that. You're spreading the warmth across Canada with your amazing dance skills. And not only that, but the athleticism that goes into these kind of dances. It's not just like a little two-step side to side. Like you are all over the place. Where, where do you come up with new dance moves all the time?
These are not new dance moves. These are part of traditional Bhangra dance. So everybody who dances this form of dance, they know about these moves. But there are many moves. I would say that there could be more than 100 Bhangra dance moves. And sometimes when you combine two dance moves together and you can like expand them too, it's just like alphabet. Sometimes when you like join different letters, you can like expand the way you dance. Um, so yeah, as you said that this dance is a real workout. People dance this style of dancing not just for dancing, they are just for a good exercise, good cardio, good workout. Because after dancing maybe 5 or 10 minutes, you are just like
And where you're located in the Yukon, right by Whitehorse, you can get some pretty punishing winters up there as well. You're 20 hours north, around 1,600 kilometers north of Prince George, where we are located. And so you can get some cold, cold weather up there. If you're not warming up properly, it's easy to pull a muscle.
yeah, you are absolutely right. In the Yukon, we sometimes can get minus 45 or maybe minus 50. And sometimes it could go up to minus 55 too. And with wind chill, it feels like minus 70. so, so it's very important to first do proper warm up. And also, Bhangra, like as a like high energy dance, is perfectly suited for the Yukon weather because I tested it myself in dancing in minus 45. After dancing, I feel warmer. I feel feel the energy my body is creating, that heat. Um, I find it absolutely wonderful. You know, like living in a cold weather, sometimes it could be gloomy, sometimes it could be boring. Not only it warms the body, it also warms the spirit to it, like mental health and all that stuff. Yeah.
The benefits to dancing are endless, just like any form of exercise, right? You release all these positive brain chemicals and endorphins, and you feel great afterwards and during. With your dances, they have literally gone viral across the nation. Every province, every territory in Canada, there's news articles, media, all featuring you, Gurdeep, and you're inspiring so many people in this country. How does it feel to be a celebrity, a Canadian celebrity?
Uh, I don't know what celebrity means because I never thought myself as a celebrity, but I do feel the love. I do feel people caring, people writing me letters, sending messages. And when I receive those words, I do get sometimes a little emotional. Like when I think that that is there's something in spreading joy and positivity. Um, we live in a world which is very unique world these days. We are always connected with technology, news feed, whether whatever app, whether it's a Twitter or Facebook, there are always news coming from different sources, and sometimes it could go depressing. And like this joyful spirit of this dance, it made people happy, and people felt it, and they responded. They're not just usually I do not believe in like just like having this much views on videos. I feel that this is just statistics. But when I really receive letters or messages from people sharing their stories, then I do feel the power of this dance. And then I feel that, yes, I'm doing something which is creating a positive impact in the lives of people. For example, I received so many letters or messages from people who are in hospital, like in just in bed, recovering from their illness. Like they wrote me that they watch my videos while being in the hospital bed. It really touched me, and I felt that the power behind behind the dance, and same like doctors, healthcare professionals, people working in diverse fields, just people like homemakers, people, farmers, people working in like soldiers, people working in high commissioners, people working uh, in so many diverse fields. Like stress is such a thing. Like is it can be anywhere, in any office, in any work situation, at home. So, so when people saw something joyful, positive, and people not just watched it, they responded, they connected. Uh, it just touched me. It felt like a social service, and I just feel great and wonderful about that.
Well, you do exemplify that dance is medicine, and you use the word
Mhm.
power, and I don't think there could be a better word than power to describe your dancing, because when you have the reach that you do with literally hundreds of thousands of people watching your videos, and you never know who the recipient of your video might be. They might be somebody that's laying in a hospital bed that's having a really tough time in life, and then all of a sudden they're scrolling on their timelines on whatever social media channel they're on. They see your dance and it lifts up their spirits, and that can happen in so many different positive ways. I find it really remarkable, especially with the approach that you've taken, Gurdeep, where you've managed to have hybrid dances involving other traditional dances from other cultures. And to me, that's what Canada is all about, the multiculturalism of combining all of our different, diverse, unique, and wonderful backgrounds.
Yeah, that's the another thing I'm very passionate about. I truly believe that we all people, doesn't matter where we live at, where we come from, which country, nation, religion, or region we belong to, we are one human race. So I truly believe that when I see or meet someone, for me, that is just a fellow human being. But sometimes we also hear stories which give a message which divides us, which create suspicions about other people, which I find that is not right. So I took this power of dance to create fusions with other dance forms from other cultures, from other traditions, from other different genres, to mix them together, to give the message of unity, to give this message that, hey, whatever we are, whoever we are, at the end of the day, we are just people. And to give this simple but very important message, which sometimes we forget. When we forget, then we fall under that trap that maybe those people are different, maybe that people are different. But it's very important to remind ourselves that, hey, we are just fellow human beings. There's no difference. We are just one human race. So that's what purpose of my work, creating those cross-cultural bridges.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better, Gurdeep. And when I browse any of your social channels, there's three words that stand out, and one's inclusivity, another one is joy, and the third is unity. And these three pillars, I can tell, are just a major part of your life in helping bring people together. And when you talk about social media, there's a lot of ways that social media can be very uh, divisive. It could evoke anger and negative emotions, but there's also the other side of social media that really truly brings people together and really helps unite one another. And like you said, we're all just humans at the end of the day, and life can be extraordinarily tough sometimes. And when you can go online and see content like the content that you're providing on your social assets, it's just wonderful to see. So I'm hoping we could back up a little bit, Gurdeep, and talk about just your background and how you ended up in near Whitehorse. How did you end up in the Yukon?
So originally, I am from a small village in Punjab, which is in very north of India. The name of my village is Sead. So I grew up in a farming family. My family, they used to grow wheat and rice crop and some other crops too. Like we have been farming from hundreds of years, like from generations. So growing up in a small village where everybody knew everyone, there was a lot of trust, like there's a lot of sense of community helping each other. Uh, so I have seen that in my childhood where it was very simple life, very away from technology, very away from modern world, where people were just people. So I then I went to university, and after that I decided to come to Canada. I thought that Canada is a great country, and I also wanted to explore the Western world. Um, and I chose Canada to see Western world. So I came here in 2006. Uh, I first started living in Squamish, BC, and I was working in Whistler. Then I moved to Saskatchewan. I lived in Saskatchewan for 2 years, and I lived in many places like Saskatoon, Lloydminster, North Battlefords, all that places. And when I was in Saskatchewan, I became a Canadian citizen. So when I became Canadian citizen, it motivated to know more about Canada, new country. So I decided to travel. I decided to do different road trips, and I drove to different parts of the country. I went to north, west, east, um, south, everywhere, just to learn about my new country. I met amazing people. I, I not just went to cities, I also went to communities, small villages. uh, also to many indigenous communities. Um, and I met people from almost all the cultures. Not only all the cultures, I found that there are many sub or micro cultures within one culture. There could be different people in one culture. So it was amazing to find that sort of diversity, and which inspired me to like do something to celebrate this diversity, celebrate that we all are different, and that is okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. So we should enjoy it. And after my travels, I also decided to come to the Yukon. That hey, let's go to Yukon and find about Yukon too. So when I came to the Yukon, I really loved the place. I really loved that, like smallness of the place. Only 40,000 people live in the Yukon, and most of them they just know each other. Uh, I felt that it's just like my village, Siad in Punjab, where I grew up. So I really loved this idea of small community living in cabin. So ended up staying in the Yukon when I was like exploring the country. Uh, and in the Yukon, I just fell in love. It's been 9 years I've been in the Yukon. It's the place where I spent majority of my lifetime in Canada now. So that's how I ended up being in the Yukon, and I love it.
Great answer. And the Yukon has so many unique characteristics as a territory, or even each individual city or town or village making up the territory. Have you been back to Siar, your village, lately at all?
Uh, I go there after 2, 3 years. Last time I went 2 years ago. So sometimes I go there just to meet my elders, other members of my family over there. So whenever I go there, it's always wonderful to meet people where I come from.
Well, I could only imagine how neat it must be for you to go back and share your stories of your cross Canada travels. And you've done something, Gurdeep, that I feel like more Canadians should do in their lives, and maybe like post these crazy COVID times. But you traveled the country, and we had a podcast guest on here about 2 weeks ago named Jim Good. He did the exact same thing. He traveled the entire country, province to province to province, all three territories, and he was able to see so many unique and fascinating towns and cities and places that I feel as Canadians, I mean, what an adventure that'd be for most of us to do if we can make it happen.
Yeah, I think all of us we should make efforts to learn about country, and not just learn about country, to learn about different communities too, to different people too. You know, I have just very simple formula. Uh, like if we feel that we don't know a community, or that community is different than our community, just go there and meet someone and just make one or two friends there, and soon you will realize that there's no difference between your community and that person's community. It gives you a really great perspective that hey, all your hopes, desires, dreams, concerns, emotions, they are same in other community too. So it really brings us closer. It really brings us together.
It absolutely does bring us together. And speaking about things that bring us together, you've had quite a few virtual concerts, and you just did one this past weekend, right? Do you want to tell us more about your virtual concerts, what those look like, and how they get organized? Do you have a lot of people approach you to organize them? Do you do it all yourself? I'm very interested.
So 5 years ago, I started my first in-person concert here in Whitehorse, Yukon. It was just spontaneously, like there were some friends, they had some music gatherings, different musicians, they came to do some practice, and some of them invited me just as a guest and watch. And and I started dancing Bhangra to their tunes, and they continued playing uh, for, I would say that maybe 1 hour. And they didn't stop. And after that, we realized that how basically they were playing Celtic music. And we realized that, hey, how easily Bhangra can connect to Celtic music. And then we decided that why shouldn't we do a concert? And that's how idea of first Bhangra concert was born. Then in 2006, no, 2016, we did our first concert here in Whitehorse, just very low key. And then next year, which goes until today. So it's me who organize these concerts, and I invite people from different cultures to play their music, and we dance Bhangra too. And majority of performers are like my dance students, and they dance to different musics, and people, different kind of dances, Highland dances, Irish dances, many other diverse kind of dances. They also dance. We dance together, like mix and match, blend, and people like it. People who come to watch these concerts, they leave with a positive outlook about humanity, about about people, that hey, that we never thought that we could combine these dances or music genres together the way it is happening. And it gives really a great hope of unity and togetherness. And this year, just last weekend, we did our 5th annual Bhangra concert. We did virtually, and I was so glad that it was like whole North America was watching it. It's like people from Florida, people from Toronto, people from California, Alberta, everywhere they were watching it. And it gave a very wonderful feeling, that that how people respond when you give this message, which message of unity, message of positivity, message of joy. And yes, still we have a lot of people in our communities who want to hear this message, who not only want to hear, they want to bring these messages forward, and to raise this hope that that at the end of the day, we are just humans or people.
Well, Gurdeep, you say it so well, and what you've done is you've built these cross-cultural bridges so well through dance. And for a lot of our listeners or watchers, they could probably agree with both of us that dancing can be scary at times, especially if you don't have much knowledge or much practice with dancing. It could be very nerve-wracking. When did you start, I guess, broadcasting your dancing and actually putting yourself out there through social media by having a videographer? Do you video all your own dances, or do you have a professional videographer? Does it, because your videos look top notch?
Majority of my videos, I would say 95%, they are self-made. Like they're mostly from tripod. There's a tripod filming me and I'm dancing. I think I started them first putting on social media 5-6 years ago. Although I've been dancing for a long time, but I didn't post them on different platforms until very recently. And my first video went viral in 2016. I did Bhangra dancing in Whitehorse during Canada Day celebrations, and I just posted on social media, and overnight 300,000 people watched the video, and the video also landed on CBC, CTV, everywhere, all national media. And ever since, I have been posting videos that inspired me to do a lot more. I felt the love, and that love motivated. So yeah, I've been posting, especially after the pandemic. I've been posting a lot more because I felt that it is making a difference among people's lives, and joy and positivity and togetherness. These are the best pills in pandemic, which are very important. So they are mostly self-made, uh, but I'm into online world very recent, from last 4 or 5 years in terms of posting videos.
Well, these videos and your dance skills are definitely making a difference. And it's funny because my co-host of Crazy Damn Canadians, Dave Mothis, the reason why him and I decided to start this podcast was to offset the negativity, some of the negativity that you can see manifest on social media. And we really just wanted to provide positive content that shows fascinating, incredible humans from across the country. And when we first launched the podcast about a month ago, immediately we were inundated with requests with friends or family or just people on social media recommending guests to be on this show. And your name came up several times. There's a Wendy Mail. She was in my MBA class, and she sent me an email right away just saying, like, this is a gentleman that you absolutely have to interview. So it is absolutely a pleasure seeing you here, Gurdeep. And I want to talk about some of your goals for the future. With it doesn't have to just be dance related, just in general. Do you have some long-term goals that you're aiming towards, that you're striving towards, working towards?
I do not have any like set or fixed goals. I sometimes do have some random ideas, but I do not like plan like, hey, I would be doing this and that. Because so far what I've been doing is totally unplanned. Um, I never knew that I would be dancing Bhangra in the Yukon, and it's happening. I have some ideas, like I am thinking of doing a cross-country tour uh, this summer for a long time, but it will depend upon what would be the pandemic situation. In summer, if the COVID-19 situation is better, or health authorities, they allowed us for some more traveling, then probably, yes, I will bring this message in person from coast to coast to coast. Uh, but if there were like lockdowns or restrictions, then maybe I will do next year. So yeah, that is one of my dreams, to bring a message of joy and positivity in person to every single community in Canada. And a lot of people have been requesting me to visit their communities too. I receive so many messages every day. Hey, come to our town, come to our city, come to our village. People have been saying that, hey, if you come to our town, be our guest. You can stay at my place, and even I never asked for that. So I think that is one thing I want to do. But other than that, I will just continue making videos. I will continue spreading joy. I will continue as much as I can what I have been doing so far.
Well, when this cross Canada tour does happen, and I feel it will be inevitable, whether it's this summer or next, just the Prestige Treasure Cove, Prince George, I'm just going to let them know right now to reserve that penthouse for you here in PG when you cruise through town. Another question, Gurdeep, is have you met the Prime Minister?
Yes, I met. I met him when he was not a prime minister. Actually, um, it was very random. Um, so he came to Whitehorse, and a friend of mine, she invited me uh, just to join, where some people gathered, uh, where he was delivering his like small, I would say, small lecture, or it was very small. And I had no plans, but my friends invited. I got excited, and because he was not prime minister at that time, and his style and style of meeting, it was wonderful. He greeted me in my own language, and gave a hug, and we had a picture too, uh, and it was a great moment. about meeting uh, Justin Trudeau as a Justin Trudeau. I think that is a great memory of me meeting with him. And I also met him again when he became prime minister. He came to White House. I happens to be in the White House, and some friends, they invited me, and he was there, and 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 we just had a very brief conversation, uh, and it was wonderful just to see him again. But my meetings with him happened in the Yukon, which I find that is great. Like that that our prime minister, he gives really great messages of inclusivity and diversity. And meeting here in the north on this land, it was wonderful.
That is wonderful. And we just talked about goals as well. I want you to set a goal, Gurdeep, and I want you to write it down saying that you are going to dance the Bhangra with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in Ottawa, because I think we can make that happen. The only problem is I don't know if he'd be able to keep up with you.
I think it'll be great if before dancing he joins like in-person dance class, just to have a little bit idea about this dancing. I think that would be great, and then dancing would be perfect. But a lot of people dance. For example, when I went to Vancouver Island last summer, and members of BC legislature, they invited me over there, and most of MLAs they were from all the parties. They danced Bhangra with me, and they didn't know nothing about it. I think they did well, and in the same way, someone who is passionate, they can easily follow along. Probably he can do. But I will strongly recommend that if someone is seriously want to do really good dancing, maybe taking one-on-one class would be a great idea.
You know what, Gurdeep? I just want to say one thing before we wrap up this podcast, and that's thank you. And the reason why I'm thanking you is because what you're doing is truly powerful. You are spreading inclusivity, you are spreading joy, you are spreading unity, not just across our provinces, not just across our nation, but worldwide. I guarantee it. And this is exactly what humans need in their life right now is this kind of positive content on their social media channels, and just something to believe in, something to uplift them, and something to just really hold on to and be thankful that there are individuals like you that want to make and are making a huge positive difference in this world. So thank you, Gurdeep, for being a guest on Crazy Damn Canadians today, and thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Scott, for inviting me. I'm feeling truly honored in your show, Crazy Damn Canadians. Thank you, and it's wonderful that you folks are inviting people who are spreading joy and positivity. I think there are so many folks in our country who are passionate about that, and you're bringing them on one platform to echo that message. I think you folks are doing great as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Gurdeep. And I look forward to see you doing the Bhangra with Justin Trudeau in Ottawa together. We'll be there to make sure we get it on video, okay?
Yes, definitely.
All right. Take care of yourself. Stay safe.